picture this. Put yourself in a scenario, guys. You're on a lovely day out at the park. What do you see? Some strange contraption in front of you. And two people stood waiting around. It's just awkwardly stood there. You push some buttons and two underpaid actors awkwardly try to react to the buttons you're pressing. They've undergone one improvisation workshop.
We get pizza? Yes. We get Chinese food?
Woo! Do you A, just leave because you've got other things to do? Or do you stand around and you're like, hey, this is like Inside Out. Inside Out? Hey, you know that Pixar film, Inside Out? Inside Out, available now on Disney+. Inside Out? You know that Inside Out movie? This is like that.
Something about Inside Out?
Yeah, it's like Inside Out.
That's how Inside Out works.
I mean, if Disney had paid me, then I'd probably do the second one. If I'm getting paid, I'm down, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, how good was Inside Out? It was really good.
This is the strange reality of Pixar in real life, where they contrive pranks, kind of videos. But they're so convoluted that you basically have to get actors in, even to play the people that are being like pranked upon, is what it feels like.
This is so funny.
This is available on Disney+. This costs you money, technically. For $5 a month, you can watch Pixar in real life. Not on Facebook. It's not on YouTube. It's not on Twitter. This is behind a money wall, and all it does is promote Pixar movies. But it could be fun. So, what did we think of... the first one. What did you think of the Inside Out one? Was that a good, fun laugh riot?
Why did they start with this one? Like,
right?
Some of them are kind of wholesome and kind of fun. But what... Like you said, watching these actors attempt to, like... Someone on the earpiece has gone, right, they've just pressed sadness, be sad.
Let's make them sad. Let's make them sad.
Because that's too much food.
You're right, man. What if we eat all that food?
It's... The thing that concerned me with this, right? I'm walking through the park, just chilling. There's a fucking control panel just chilling in the thing. I'm concerned about what that is. I'm not going to go up to it and start pushing buttons. I'm either going to assume something dodgy's going on, or I'm going to be like, oh, they must be doing some fucking surveying government stuff in the park. Going to stay out of the... I don't go up to it and start pushing buttons.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
that's kind of it, isn't it? It's a lot of these situations like grasp on people just being interested to investigate. So maybe I'll concede that if you leave that there, some people might think this is some children's play thing, some thing for them to gather around. There's the Monsters Inc. one. Joe, you didn't see the Monsters Inc. one?
It's called Monsters Inc. Laugh Energy. Real people try out monster technology to generate electricity from laughs and screams. Almost all of them say, real people. Wink, wink.
It's amazing because the setup is these two people with a table, and they're like, hey, do you interested in green energy? And they actually leave in cuts of people ignoring them.
Excuse me, are you interested in green energy? Thank you.
Are you interested in green energy? And people will just leave, and the actual
no one
will be like,
notices the very iconic canister.
Yeah, right?
That's what annoys me.
One of the biggest thing about this is how there's a couple of instances of just people not recognizing that it's from there's some really obvious stuff, like there's a Toy Story one where everyone's like filming because it's the chicken from Toy Story 2, we know that. But then there's a lot of stuff where it's like the Brave one, right, where she says oh, my name's Merida, and everyone just got literally gone like, Merida, like, all right, whatever, cool.
those crazy Scots. That's what you can just think in the...
Merida?
Yeah, something like that.
The thing with the Brave one is, I don't think it's like like straight away. Like she just looks like she's just this weirdo.
Well,
going in,
I
like,
said
a
this to
cloak or
Sam.
something.
I said that she looks like she's come from the the Renaissance fair down the road.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Renaissance fair you stepped out of.
Like she's if she'd have come in on Angus, her horse, or something, and been like, I am Merida or whatever, then kids would be like, oh shit. But yeah, you kind of look at them like, people are looking at like, who's this Joker? Like, is she for real?
Because the brave one, it's all just adults stood around being like, I mean, I kind of paid for an hour of archery. Is this eating into my hour? Like, she's got to argue with the coach because they've pre-planned a bit. She calls him a bumblebee and everyone goes, ooh.
I mean, your tailor does need to have a talk to you, yes, sir. I mean, I don't know who let you dress up as a bumblebee, but, you know, a good tartan will do you some very good.
I hear you.
Like places like the park and stuff, and like the streets of New York, they need a permit to do that, surely.
Yeah.
And like fucking having like moving cones and shit. You go to New York, you see a cone moving, you're gonna assume there's like a rat stuck under there or something. That's what I'd think if I saw a moving cone. And,
The Toy Story one's amazing because there's two bits where like there's a reaction shot of a guy looking at the cone and he really looks like he's just like, it's okay, it's my new meds, like the doctor warned me about this, I'm alright, it's just side effects, I'm okay. And then there's the bit where Woody is like escapes and the owl is like, it just got stolen, and the guy's like, it's New York.
Listen. This whole area is suspicious.
Like,
I love that guy so much, you know. He has no idea what this is. He legit thinks that this is just a guy who sells toys.
Calm down, but please, I want to see your red.
And he's just like, it's like, when did it happen? He's like, oh, it happens all the time. He's like proper like trying to help the guy. It's like, but the door's locked. How's that happened? He has no idea what's going on at all, and I love it. I love him. He's such a guy. I
really like the guy who stops where he's like, do you collect? Are you a collector? And this guy goes, I collect things. And it's like, what do you collect? That was an odd way to, I collect things.
Are you a collector?
I like to collect.
What do you, like fingers? What do you collect? Exactly. And he's like, I'll trade you a Pete. And he's like, no, I don't collect that.
You're willing to trade him for a stinky Pete in the box. You got that?
No, man, I ain't got that.
He goes away and takes a call, and traffic cones start moving, and then they rescue Woody. And then Al is upset, and people film him being upset, and they're smiling. They're like, look at the silly chicken man. He's distraught.
You had to do it in New York, where everyone is a tourist and films everything.
Yeah.
Because to them, this isn't normal. So, like, to them, they think this is just what goes on in New York. Well, it's kind of not. Like...
I mean, at this point, between all the like weird shows that are filmed on the streets of New York, it kind of just is what goes on in New York.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what a weird city.
This is weird shit. I mean, I remember when we went through Central Park, and this guy was wearing like a chicken hat, like looking into like a cardboard box, sat on like a bench, but like there was something like bright green in the box, and it looked like a bright green teddy or something, but. He was just staring, like he wasn't doing anything. He had this chicken hat on. He just had the box here on his lap, and he was just staring straight down it like that. And like the whole time I was looking at him, he didn't move. He didn't flinch at all. He was just cold, dead eyes.
I bet the gag was you lift up the teddy, and his dick's in the box.
Maybe, yeah.
Like
when you say
like
chicken hat. Elaborate. What is that?
So it was like, you know those hats that you got and they like come over your ears and you tie them under there. The ones that are like they've got like fur that go around the top.
Yeah, a Ushanka. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like one of those, but on top had like a chicken head. It was kind of like brownish, and it had like a chicken head, like a beak there, and then like this red like thing that those chickens have on the head going across the top, and he was just sat with it tied really tightly under his head, so like his face was kind of like that. Like, really
it doesn't exist on Google. I think you're lying.
I know, I swear, sorry, it was so weird.
It's his own custom chicken head hat. It's really interesting to me when massive like franchises and brands try and latch onto this as a concept, right? Because this is not a new concept. The like as far as prank shows go, you've got like Jackass is pretty good. They get quite extreme, you know. I don't know, like Impractical Jokers maybe somewhere in the middle. It's not everyone's thing. It's edited in a very like
Prank
intense
Patrol.
way.
That's a classic one.
Prank Patrol all the way up at the top. That's top tier.
They'll sign you up to join their crew. Barney and the ninjas do.
Here we go and find the prank patrol. Here we go.
Because you can focus with Prank Patrol. You know, you got one target, and you can scare them with a big spider. You know, it's great fun.
The thing with prank shows is, I find it really hard to watch some of them. Like with this one, I find it really, I don't know what it is. I thought that maybe it was just prank shows in general. And I find it really cringy. I'm like, oh no, they're pranking these people. But then like, I never felt that with Prank Patrol. Prank Patrol was well sick. Prank Patrol was just good, wholesome, family, friends, Barney, ninjas in a van.
I think, well, with Prank Patrol, there was no, like, I don't know, there was no it never felt like anyone's time was being wasted, and it at least felt like everyone was, you know, because they had a budget to do, like, one big prank in a decent, fun way, which meant you didn't have to have, like, actors and people awkwardly stood around kind of embarrassing themselves. I think that's the thing, is, like, I don't necessarily feel bad for the passers-by, you know, who are suddenly caught up in this, ooh, look, it's a Pixar movie's happening to them, what fun. I feel bad for the actors who really just thought they might get a break working with Disney and are having to just publicly embarrass themselves.
Yeah, especially that Inside Out one.
There's times where they get kids involved, and I'm not talking about passers-by, I mean as actual, like, characters, and I got nothing against them. Like, they're fine, they're cute enough. They perform well. Like they get a kid to play Russell who has to ask passers-by from Up, you know, can you help me get my badge? Can you give me the badge for high-fiving someone? And that's nice. It's wholesome. It's sweet. And there's times where people ask him questions and he's like, don't ask me questions. I'm not prepared to make up things.
Do you go camping a lot?
Not really, but
Just carry your stuff around just in case.
yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
And the same thing that they do on For the Incredibles, where the conceit is they have a kid they've like slicked his hair back like Dash, right?
They fully dyed it as well.
Yeah, like it's it's properly like bleach, intense blonde. And he's like, can you time me running around this building? So he gives them a stopwatch, and then he runs around the corner, and then his identical twin runs around the other corner, and they're like, whoa, you ran around so fast. And there was like one bit where they're like, well, someone goes, how did you do that? And he just full on goes, I don't know.
How'd you do it so fast? 9.
I don't know.
He's not prepared to like.
Does not want to think about it.
It's like, look, I got told to come here. A week ago, I said I wanted to be Spider-Man, and my mum took me that to mean that I wanted to be an actor. So now I'm here. Disney are paying me exclusively in Incredibles 2 merchandise. Like
Disney store credit.
I don't know. And now, probably what I think is the most contrived one, which we haven't really mentioned, the Wall-E one.
How did people not know that was Wall-E?
The thing with this is the one that made me think, like, it's a bit... People who haven't seen Wall-E, or people who... Because it came out, I mean, if I saw that on the street, I'd be like, okay, something's going on. There's a TV show or something sticking around. But people who don't know Wall-E, or, like, for example, like, tourists who were Wall-E, in their country, Wall-E or Disney thing's not really that big of a thing. It's just like a robot rolling around, but it's like a box. It looks kind of menacing a bit, if you don't know what it is. It's like rolling down the street.
It bursts out of this cardboard box. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd like shit yourself, like, oh my god, something's happening. It's happening. The fucking robot's taking over.
The Finding Dory one.
I'm weird with this one.
Half of it's I like. I actually don't mind the animatronic thing with the... It's when the actors come into it that I don't like.
Yeah.
They're like,
yeah,
oh my god, have you seen... There's a missing fish. It's...
Where did you see the octopus?
Did you see a blue tang? It's a blue little fish as well.
If you guys could just stay here, I need to clear the area. I'll be right back.
If you see it back around here, just let somebody know in a blue shirt, okay? Thanks, guys. I gotta go get it. Thank you so much.
Going on. That was good, wholesome fun. You could see the little Dory in the thing, like, it was all nice. And then the actors came in and they were being all like, whoa, and then they surrounded it and they're like chasing it. And there's a bit where one of them fake jumps forward and accidentally misses to grab it, but it's fake. They just go like that, whoa, like that, and it's like, oh, stop.
It's like,
please.
It's like hammy, like, Disney Channel acting. Like, when they're trying to do it for the kids to get a giggle.
Yeah.
So as an adult, you're like...
I get to it, like, to kids, like, the acting, it's all part of it, and gets them all involved and stuff. So I appreciate that. But, when you're in, like, a Disney park, for example, and they're doing that there, it doesn't look quite as bad. But
yeah, the whole environment complements it.
Yeah, you kind of get involved in it a bit, whereas now it's like, I'm watching a pretend not to be able to catch this thing, which she could probably walk a bit faster and catch. You know what I mean? She's like running like as if she's on a fucking treadmill or something.
I also really like there is one kid, I think he might even be wearing an Incredibles shirt or hat or something, but they use him as a reaction shot for when the octopus starts moving, and he must be like 3 or 4, and even he's like...
Is that real? No, it's not.
So... we discussed it a little bit earlier. Amelia, you've seen the Up one with Russell.
I have.
What did you think of it?
See, this is the only one I kind of like because, I really like that film. And like you say, the kid's good at improvising. Like, he has these moments where, like, he does not know what the heck to say to questions from the public. And then, obviously, Carl turns up at the end and he's like, Russell, come on, we gotta go. And so I was like, oh, that's cute. But, like, what annoys me, and it's not even the fault of the episode, is how many people are watching Russell and Carl walk away, don't get the reference, don't get it, they just don't get it.
Despite the fact that Joe, this old man rocks up, he's like hunched, he's like properly hunching himself over, right? He's got the fucking tennis ball like walking stick, like they've fully committed to this.
See, to me, this sounds... like I said, I've not seen this one. This sounds like a kid on his own, and then an old man comes and steals him, is what it sounds like.
I need to earn the assisting the elderly badge so I can become a senior explorer.
Oh, all right. I'm not elderly, by the way.
To me, that's like something you call the police about.
The addition of Kyle is strange, and this guy definitely doesn't like fully get it the way that the kid's excited to be like, oh cool, I get to... He's energetic, he's full of life. This kid's done nothing wrong. It's pretty cringy, but it's not his fault. And it was probably a nice story for some of those people. Like, hey, there was this weird kid today dressed as that kid from Up. Yeah, I gave him a badge. Do you know what's wild about this show as well? Is that there's like... after every episode, there's about like 2.5 minutes of just completely silent credits. And it's wild for 2 reasons. 1, this many people had to make this show. 2, it's like the same length as the actual product. Yeah. That's wild. That is a bad sign.
It's crazy as well. I think part of that is because some of them are in different languages because they have to do all of that now. But even I was like, okay, that was a harsh cut to credits. At least put a bit of plinky plonky Pixar music over the top,
yeah, just something, anything.
Don't just do that to me. Like, you've been like, hey.
I'm gonna estimate that Pixar, but in real life, is minus 1,100,282.5 out of 10.
Nice. Okay, so
eek.
We have 2 options. We just give it 1 0 rating, or we give it that many 0 ratings. And then,
how many submissions? How many submissions do you think it would take before they went? Something's going on here. So more people are reviewing this than we ever thought were alive.
And suddenly a video on YouTube has popped up about us.
So, that's good, isn't it? That's Pixar in real life. Well worth it. Well worth your whatever Disney Plus cost. I don't know. I did the yearly one.
$5.99 a month, or £50 if you paid before March or whatever it was.
Good content. Thanks for that, Disney. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give us a like and a subscribe. We do a movie podcast usually every week, which
we're normally better than this.
In theory, we'll come back next week with an episode about Hamilton. If not, then it's back to this. And if you are moving about on the go and you want to listen to us, you can check us out by just searching for the Outtakes Movie Podcast in all of your favourite podcasting apps. You can follow us on social media to find out new information about new episodes and clips and all that good stuff on Twitter and Instagram by searching for The Real Outtakes. And thanks for watching. Let us know what you think of Pixar but in real life. I'm still bad at this YouTube thing. Bye!
Here's the end.